What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rant Files. I'm Nick, and this is my lovely wife and co-host, Miranda.
Hello.
She's going in this episode completely blind and doesn't know what any of the topics are. Now, since we got back-to-school festivities coming up, I thought it would be fitting to have a back-to-school theme this week.
Okay.
So that means our Rant or Rave, and maybe it's not that bad segments, will be back-to-school related. But before we get into that, it's time for our first Am I the Asshole?
Hey.
So this story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Daughter She Doesn't Have the Right to Mourn or Go to Her Ex-Friend's Funeral After What She Did? New account, since my daughter does know my other account. When my daughter was in school, she became friends with a girl named Kelly. They stayed close through college, and my daughter was even one of Kelly's bridesmaids when she got married. To explain where my daughter's behavior came from, my ex-husband cheated on me repeatedly, and our marriage ended horribly. My daughter doesn't speak to her father anymore, and she absolutely despises cheating. About 7 years ago, my daughter became convinced that Kelly was cheating on her husband. She started harassing Kelly online and essentially blew up her life. By the time my daughter found out that the man she had seen Kelly with was actually a relative, they were at a fancy restaurant together, it was too late. Kelly's marriage had already fallen apart, and because we live in a very religious community, she was ostracized by many people. They had a huge falling out, and it basically came down to my daughter ruining Kelly's life. Kelly blocked her on everything and eventually moved away. Kelly hated my daughter after that, and so did her mother. I still run into Kelly's mother occasionally, and she has made her feelings about my daughter very clear. The issue is that Kelly recently passed away. My daughter found out through a Facebook post, and the funeral is this weekend, 2 states away. My daughter was planning to attend the funeral, and I told her that I thought it was a terrible idea. She said she needed to go, and I told her again that she shouldn't. We got into an argument, and she said she had every right to mourn her friend and attend the funeral. I told her that she really didn't have the right to mourn Kelly or go to the funeral because Kelly hated her after everything that happened and because my daughter had destroyed her life. She hasn't spoken to me since. Now I'm wondering if I should warn Kelly's family that my daughter might show up at the funeral or that I might be in the wrong here. So the original question again. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she doesn't have the right to mourn or go to her ex-friend's funeral after what she did?
You're not the asshole for telling her that she shouldn't go because she shouldn't go. As far as warning them, I want to say yes so they can be prepared. But at the same time, I don't want to give them something to stress about if like they're already going through enough. So that's where I'm like, I don't know what to do about telling them. I don't know if you'd specifically want to like probably not tell her mom. I don't know. I don't even know who else you could tell.
You don't have to, since that's not the original question. Sometimes we run into this.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm focusing too much on the wrong thing.
The actual question, though, is what we're.
So, yeah, back to it. No, you're not the asshole at all. If I was Kelly's mother and your daughter showed up at my daughter's funeral, no. It wouldn't be good.
I mean, you wouldn't be let into the facility.
Well, no, but I'd be like all of my grief and anger over losing my child. I'm going to let it all out on you, and I'm not going to feel bad about it because you blew up my daughter's life for no fucking reason because you couldn't mind your own business because you were making assumptions. What? I don't fucking care what her excuse was. I really don't.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. If I was a family member to Kelly and this bitch showed up, I'm throwing hands immediately.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So if we take it a step back before the life falling apart in that little kind of
I don't care.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
What about it?
Before Kelly's life kind of blew up and the marriage fell apart. What do you think about before that?
It's before. It's over. It's
comment?
Done.
Well, right. But any comments on that? Because that drastically changes the story for me.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Oh, for you, I guess. Not for me. No, if I don't give a fuck how close we were. If you went and you blew up my life like that.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what our history is. We are done.
Okay.
And you know what? Whenever I die, all of you out there, if you know that somebody that I've had beef with shows up, I give you full permission.
Okay.
Throw hands immediately. It's what I would want. I don't give
That's
a
fair.
fuck what our history used to be. No.
So I respect that, but I think you're glazing over something that I kind of pinpointed.
What?
My main question was you weren't cheating.
Okay.
Right? So I do understand, and it's not acceptable what you did. I think verbatim it was she started harassing Kelly online and essentially blew up her life, right? But you weren't actually cheating.
Okay.
Right? So my thing was, and when a bunch of the comments said too, is like, well, why did this happen in the first place? Because it's something's missing from the story. Is really really the point, because like you weren't cheating, right? So this is very easily explained as to what happened, and then somehow it just blew up your life. I think there's something missing in there.
Possibly.
Doesn't mean that it changes kind of the outcome, obviously, because you can't go back. But I just thought it was interesting that little piece in there is missing, because like, but why? I get it's a religious community, right? And you were like blowing her up and all this kind of stuff. I understand that, but like it ended up not being true. So like, what happened? You know what I mean? Did it
might not have
uncover
needed
other secrets, or you know what I mean?
It might not have needed to be true. The accusation might have been enough. She might not have had to actually do anything.
Maybe.
If her husband or ex-husband was the type of person to already be suspicious about it, that could have been all it took.
100%.
Was the accusation. And that's not Kelly's fault. But again, you brought this to his attention. You saw something, you made the assumption, you decided to blow my life up. You didn't give a fuck until I was dead. Therefore, you are not welcome here, and I hope that you get your ass beat if you show up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't give a fuck about what the history used to be. It is done and over with. It's long gone for me.
That's very fair. So the history, do you have any comments on that? Do you have any thoughts on the history that the daughter has? Kind of any kind of trauma or anything that plays into it? Anything that you would
That doesn't
comment
excuse it for me.
I'm not saying it excuses it. I'm saying, do you have any comments on it?
I mean, I understand why you might have, like, that might be a triggering thing for you. I completely get that, but that still means nothing to me. And that's a completely different scenario, a completely different situation. You're taking a situation that you had with somebody else in your life, and now you're applying that to me, when I could have been a support system for you through that. If they were such good friends, I imagine that she was. And now you're going to turn around and like flip. I don't fucking care.
There should have been some therapy involved in this, because
probably
she needs to talk to somebody, or needed to, I guess, because the way that she
still needs to talk to somebody.
She just projected all of this onto her close friend, and she was a bridesmaid too. Like, and you decided to just blow up her life.
Yeah,
I think it's fucking wild.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't care what the history is. Some things you just can't get past it.
No, there's no way.
And
you can get
for me,
this.
that would be one of those things. I can, even if I had found it in my heart along the way to forgive you, I'm still not going to forget. And I will never, ever welcome you back into my life again. And that includes at my funeral.
I don't think there's any coming back from this.
No.
Because like you had said, she didn't care until she passed.
That's, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
there's no coming back from this.
No, I've been dead to you all this time. Now I'm really dead. Let it be.
And it's crazy how she thinks it's appropriate. It's even an appropriate option.
That's what I'm saying.
To this thing.
It's like, I don't understand this logic where like you've had a bad past with somebody and you're like, oh my God, they're dead now. I need to go pay my respects. No, you need to keep your fucking distance.
Yeah.
That's what now is not the time for you to come up and be like, oh my God, I hate the way that things happen. Clearly you didn't.
It's too late.
Because if you had such a problem with it, you would have said something when you had the chance. Now you want to come and say something when I don't have an opportunity to respond. That's why you want to come and act like you have all this remorse and everything. Nah, bitch. Yeah. If you wanted to apologize, you should have done it when I had an opportunity to say something back.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way she would have gotten the opportunity anyways, because they already shut her out.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
So like there was no.
It's a moot point.
Yeah. Just let it. I don't want to say that. Just let it. Let it go by. Let it go by.
Oh.
Yeah, just let it die.
I'll be crass as fuck. I don't care. Let it die just like me.
I mean, yeah, I think she really needs to just to move on and just not go through with it.
Nah.
So,
if I was Kelly and she showed up at my funeral, I would haunt the fuck out of you. I'm like every ounce of my ghostly being, I'm turning into a poltergeist and I'm attaching myself to you. Nah, bitch, you're never getting an ounce of peace ever.
I mean, that's pretty fucked. Especially if it happened. I'm pretty sure we're missing some of the story.
Oh no, I'm going off of what we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
But I think there's something missing here because that doesn't connect for me. But it doesn't matter.
No.
Because it still ended the same exact way either way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So before we get into verdicts, do you want to talk about the what was the question? The second question that she had. I'm wondering if I should warn Kelly's family that my daughter might show up at the funeral. At the beginning, you seem like you want to talk about that. Do you have any thoughts on? Because that gets a little complex for me.
I know. That's where, because my thing is like, I don't want to introduce any drama or anything. I don't want to give them more than what they're already dealing with. That's where I'm coming from. So I would obviously primarily be like on your daughter's fucking neck about it. Like, do not go to this funeral. Like, beg of you. I swear, like, pin her down. I don't care. Yeah. But like, I would do everything that I could in my power, as far as my relationship with my daughter to stop her from going. If there is nothing I can do, then and only then would I say something, and it would only be like, I just want you to know so you have time to prepare. If she shows up, I'm like, I just want you to know that she's on her way. I don't agree with her being there. If you throw her out, I fully stand beside it. Like, I'm on my way to come get her or something. I don't know, but
I understand, but I think I disagree because in my mind, I try to put myself in their shoes. And if I get a call, right, you call me and you tell me that, and then immediately tensions are already high, emotions are already high, and then I'm most likely going to tell the people around me, people closest. So now, in my mind, we're no longer focused on Kelly. Exactly. We're focused on the daughter, the enemy, right, about showing up. So now, instead of everybody focused on what's it called? Whatever viewing, whatever they're doing, right? However they're choosing to celebrate life, whatever. They're no longer solely 100% focused on that. Now it's going to be, I would argue 50-50. 50% on Kelly and paying respects and however you process that, and then another 50% on watching the surroundings.
That's what I'm saying.
Where's this bitch? This bitch is going to show up.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to introduce that drama.
I don't like that. I don't
like that at all.
So I don't think I would say anything. I would do everything in my power to try to talk the daughter out of it.
Yeah.
But so like in my mind, it's a risk. It's 100% a risk, and I can see that, right?
Yeah.
But there is a possibility where she shows up, but she doesn't go inside. If it's an outdoor thing, she stays on, on the perimeter. Nobody knows she's there, right? Maybe she gets there and she's like, you know what? This is a bad fucking idea. And then she turns around and leaves, and then you just put everybody on high alert, and then she never shows up.
Exactly.
I think it's a mistake to say anything, and I understand it's a risk, but that's a risk I would be willing to take in that situation, because in the I would say the higher chance that she actually doesn't go through with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like, hopefully she'll chicken out at the last minute
or she stays away or something.
No, I completely agree. I really don't like the idea of telling them, just because they have enough going on right now. They don't need anything extra, especially this is bullshit in comparison for them. Yeah. Like, come on. This is nothing. So stop. Don't you dare come to a funeral and make it about you.
And what I just thought of too is that if you do kind of pull the trigger on alerting the family, that may be the number one thing that they remember from the event.
I know. That's exactly. Yeah. There's no,
the more I think through it, the more that I'm convinced I would not. I
don't feel good about any outcome that would come from forewarning them. No. I would really just try my best to
talk her out of it, and that's it.
Physically stop her and get in her head about it, just so she will come to the realization that she needs to not do
I would definitely let her know that, if you go there, that would be the number one thing that I would tell the daughter is like, if you go there, it's going to get nasty.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want
like,
you
just
there.
so you know, like,
it's going to get rough.
People might
like, I'm not going to say anything, but you're going to get removed.
And you should.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we don't condone any kind of like physical violence, but do condone removing you from the premises.
In this case.
You know what I mean?
If it's my funeral, I condone it.
I mean, yeah, you don't want cops to show up at but I do see that. And I mean, tensions, like we said,
needs to be done.
Tensions are already high. Emotions are high. That's not your place.
I know.
Stay the fuck out.
Yes.
So what's your verdict?
Wait, what was the question again?
Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she doesn't have the right to mourn or go to her ex's friend's funeral after what she did?
Okay, yeah, exactly. You're not the asshole.
So she's not the asshole for that, but she might be in the wrong for letting the family know, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I would say probably don't let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you're an asshole in any way, shape, or form in any of the story, even the second question, but I think
you need to
you would be in the wrong to let the family know, just because it may set off sirens that don't necessarily need to be set off.
Keep trying to intervene on your side without involving that family.
Exactly.
Because they don't deserve that.
They
don't need that at all.
Let them mourn.
Yes.
So the overall Reddit verdict was not the asshole. The first comment was not the asshole, but your entire community is, and your daughter too.
Oh, yeah.
Next one is, this one actually has 2 responses that I took note of because I really liked it. The first part of it, or the first, I guess, post, not the asshole. Your daughter will be lucky if she's not forced to leave. Also, has she ever considered engaging in psychotherapy so she can discover why she's such a chaos agent?
Yeah.
I've never heard that saying before, chaos agent. But we had some responses to go along with it. It sounds like she's a chaos agent because of the trauma her father inflicted upon her family. Does she really need to see a therapist to figure that part out? And then the response to that, knowing the root of the trauma and actually changing behavior, that's the result of it, are 2 different things.
There you go.
And I thought that was very interesting.
Yes. That's what I was going to say, is like, just because you know what's causing it doesn't mean that you should just like pish posh on therapy, because there's other forms of therapy that could help you, you know, like, what is it, like the somatic therapy and stuff that, like, I think it's more like body movement and things like that. So you can address how your body reacts to things versus, things like that are more beneficial for people that can like, intellectualize their feelings.
Okay.
And so like you're able, like you're self-aware, you know what's happening, you see what's happening, you know why, you just need it to stop. And that's what you need to address. So that makes sense. Yes, I agree with those comments.
Have you ever heard that saying? Chaos agents.
I want to say maybe, but not like anything that I've looked into or anything. I might have just like read it in passing. It's not unfamiliar, but it's not something that I just use.
Have you ever, without using names, if the answer is yes, have you ever known any chaos agents? No.
Yes.
So what are some examples of, without, because I can't think of any. I can't think of any chaos agents. I can think of people that like drama, right? But not like chaos agents. Because if this is a perfect kind of example of what a chaos agent is, blowing up somebody's life, I don't know if I have any examples for that, because that's pretty.
I mean, yeah, not anything like that extreme, I think. I definitely know plenty of people who just fucking love to bask in their own misery. I swear, like, if they have nothing bad going on, then they have nothing going on at all. Like things like that, where they just find a way to always find themselves in some shit or like in some drama with somebody or something like that. That's what my first thought was, I guess, when you said chaos agent. But as far as like going completely nuclear on somebody else's life, I don't fucking associate with people like that. So I don't think I have any. I can't think of any examples.
The term chaos agent refers to multiple distinct pop culture figures and real world concepts. It primarily describes a character who deliberately disrupts order, though it's also the name of a thriller novel.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they deliberately disrupt order.
Okay. I mean, that's like, That makes a lot more sense. So it's not so much just like
Yeah.
this is a severe case of, what is it, chaos
I mean,
agent?
yeah, in that kind of,
But now
with that definition, I'm not sure that I can like think of anybody.
That's interesting though.
That's pretty extreme.
I just found it interesting that people knew kind of the whole chaos agents kind of saying.
No, you learn something new every day, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
The last one was grief is a fickle thing, but not the asshole. She ruins someone's life. Your daughter can mourn if she chooses, but not at Kelly's funeral. There is a time and a place, and that ain't it.
100%. Thank you. Yes.
Stay the fuck away from that funeral.
Yes.
All right, let's get into some rant or rave. And like I said, these are all back to school related. So first up, we got mandatory early mornings. Rant or rave, what you got?
I hate it.
Good reason to get up early or dreadful new alarms?
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Or I guess turning on old alarms.
No, I hate getting up early. It's the worst. It's awful. I try so hard to be up and be peppy and like, hey, that's good. No, I don't want to fucking be up either.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just hard in the mornings. I mean, as we get through the year, it gets easier, but I don't know.
It's nice having the summer break,
Yeah.
but it's also, to me, it's kind of nice because then there's, I guess, less excuses if you want. I don't know. There's less just like, there's more of a reason to get up. Because like, well, shit, I got to get the kids to
That's
school. You know
true.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it does.
I don't get up on time. They're not going to get to school on time.
Exactly. It definitely does force me to get up and start my day earlier, which is nice. I will say that.
Yeah.
It's just hard and I hate it.
So would it be a rant or a rave for you?
Primarily a rant. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a very good early bird.
No, I think
We're absolutely night owls.
I want to be an early bird so bad.
See, I think I have like a nice split because like I can be a night owl whenever, but I can also be an early bird too and be just fine. I can do the 5:30 wake ups. It's nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
But I have that background.
I have to have I have to be at a good spot in my, what is it, the circadian rhythm or whatever, in my REM cycle. Because if I wake up at the wrong time, I'm not going to be happy. But if I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm refreshed, then it's fine.
What's that like? I've never seen that.
Well, usually you're not here when it happens.
Because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Whatever.
Next up, we got going back to school in your 30s or 40s, or really just later in life in general. Could be whatever fucking age. Waste of time or a great way to start a new chapter.
No, I think it's great. That's a rave, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to go back to school.
That's fair.
But I fully support it. Some of like the best friends that I had when I went back to school at Riley through Barton, they were all older. I think everybody was older than me.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was just nice. Like one thing that I always liked was hearing about like stuff that they did before. And then they're like, I want to do a change. Or like somebody had just retired and he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go like start taking classes and whatever and yada, yada. But yeah, so I do it. You're never too old to learn.
You definitely have benefits that you get, especially from the military community.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So like sometimes it makes sense. It doesn't always make sense for everybody, but it's like if you're retired,
yes,
you don't really have anything else going on, you're just like, you know what? Why don't I sit for a master's or whatever?
Well, I was gonna say maybe if you're like in your 60s, maybe don't start med school, but
that's fair.
I mean, if you can do it, then by all means.
I could see somebody doing something like that, but just like as a not a hobby, but like an interest.
Yeah, just
like
to learn
medical terminology or something
yeah.
like that. You know, just like the basics.
No, I mean like legit med school.
That's not
yeah,
a good idea.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But no,
you won't cut until you're like 70.
Yeah. For real. No, I fully support it. I think if there's something that you want to learn, go and fucking learn it. Hell yeah.
I agree. I definitely think it's a rave because I think you can learn new things at any age.
Absolutely.
There may be a learning curve for depending on when you go back. But it's absolutely,
I mean, if you were, I feel like if you were good at school when you were younger, you can probably just like get back into it. Obviously, if there's like the learning curve with the technology and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, if you were good in school, you'll probably be fine going back to school later in life. I think so.
Do you think, I don't have this question on here, so I guess I can bring it up right now. Do you think it's better to go back to school or just go straight into a new field and get like the hands-on? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It depends.
Oh.
I don't know, because there's some fields that you can just kind of switch over and like do the on the job stuff. And then there's some that like you really should get that background. I don't know. It just depends on the job. I will say though that I include like learning a trade with going back to school.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's why So that's why it doesn't necessarily have to be like you're sitting in a classroom reading off the whiteboard every day or whatever. Like go do some hands-on shit or whatever, you know? Or even if you're just like auditing some classes, some night classes or some shit just to learn. Like I said, you're never too old to learn. So I'm always in favor of that.
I only ask because I think that I would side with like the whatever schooling you choose, whether it's trade or traditional college or whatever. I think it's important to have a foundation before you make a major change.
That does help.
Don't just jump into the, you know what I mean? Don't just jump into the new kind of path, right? Yeah. Without that kind of solid foundation to fall back on. Because that's going to be a hard climb.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I mean, there are some things that are like that, but I don't think there's a lot. Yeah. So I don't know.
Next up, we got returning to dorms with roommates. Great way to meet new people or just want your privacy back.
Shit. Just had like a Vietnam flashback.
Jesus.
No, it really wasn't that bad having a roommate when I was in college. Mostly because half the time she wasn't there. Yeah, I wouldn't do it again though.
My roommate wasn't
bad. Was she cute?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But what about like, so what about when, I don't know if you always come back to the same roommate, but this kind of situation would be a different roommate.
No, I still wouldn't do it.
No?
I don't want to, no. That was like a one and done for me, honestly. I'm good with never having a random roommate again. I don't
Would you have the same room assignments if you come back for the next semester? Or is it random like the, what was it, 127 when we talked about this? Is it always random?
I think you were able to request.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember talking to some girls that were on my floor and they had said that like they had lived together the previous year.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think it's that you can like request the same room, but you can request to have the same roommate.
Oh, okay.
And if you guys both request each other, then it's like, well, obviously, why would you get paired with somebody else? But yeah, even then, even if we hadn't moved in together and like gone back to the dorms, I don't know. I mean, I probably, let's be real, I didn't have the money to pay for my own room anyway. So I probably would have ended up with another fucking roommate. But
I'm definitely, that would be a rant for me because I would not want to live with somebody else. Like, especially after like leaving that and then having to come back to it. Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah. How did you end up with no roommate?
I don't know.
Did that just happen?
I guess, yeah.
What the fuck?
Universe loves me. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't fucking know.
No, I didn't hate my roommate. We just didn't like end up in the same crowd in the end. But no, I mean, we're still Facebook friends.
You only had that roommate for like you said, like part of the time because she was never there.
Second semester. We left for winter break and she never came back to the
I wonder
dorms.
if mine was similar. Maybe I had somebody that was assigned, but like they backed out or whatever. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Who knows what happened?
Finally, we got brand new shoes for the first day. Confidence boost or keeping up with the Joneses vibes?
Ooh. Huh. Interesting. I never viewed it as Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Okay.
But that's a good point. So growing up, I mean, we would always just get like our new pair of shoes before school. And it was like, you take care of these because these are the shoes that you had all year. So, but that was like the one time that we would get to go to like the nicer shoe stores and we'd get like the expensive pairs of shoes.
Okay.
So I never saw it as like Keeping Up with the Joneses. It was always just like, this is our back to school treat. Like I always fucking loved back to school shopping. So yeah, it was like,
it's all brand new stuff.
Yeah. But it was like, this is our treat. What's the style? What goes with what I'm wearing? I mean, once I figured out like the style I had, it was just like, I needed to make sure that I wore the pants that like my favorite pair of pants. Yeah. I made sure that I wore those when I went shoe shopping and those were the shoes that I bought.
There you go.
So it never had anything to do with like, I need to keep up. It was just like, how do I look fly?
There you go.
And I always found my way.
That's fair.
So, yeah, no, I like it. I dig the fresh kicks on the first
fresh,
day.
So clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's definitely good to have a confidence boost. I think that would definitely be a rave just because how you carry yourself, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It
how
definitely
you present
changes.
yourself.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, I don't care what you say. That first day of school is always special. It's always something because it's always like you might not think about it, or even when you're a teenager, you're like, I have to go back to school. You get there and you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen you since last year. I didn't see so-and-so all summer.
Right.
Oh my God, did you see how they look? They grew up this summer? Oh my God. Like, it ends up being like a big thing. Yeah. So yeah, it matters that you put on your best when you have your first day of school.
There you go.
Yeah.
As long as you make it last of the year.
Well, I mean, we were poor. We didn't have a choice. But
so definitely a rave then.
Yes.
I can appreciate that. All right, time for our next Am I the Asshole? So this story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Kids That My Wife Isn't Going Anywhere, and if she isn't welcome, I'm not coming. My ex-wife and I got divorced when all of the kids were adults. The marriage wasn't a good one, and I stayed for the kids, basically, which I regret. I will call her Pearl for this to make it clearer. We both worked, but she found no joy in her job. It was constant arguing, and she was extremely unpleasant towards me after a bad day. She also had habits of addictive behavior. She would become obsessed with something and do it 24/7. She lost multiple jobs this way. When I divorced her, she went off the deep end. She fell heavily into alcohol and passed away after she got into a car accident. She was drunk.
Jesus.
The kids were already taking the divorce badly, and her death after was really bad. I offered to pay for counseling, but they refused. They blame me for their mom passing. Dating made it worse. They believe I am replacing their mom, and when I married, they became nasty about it. My wife has done nothing to them, and they are dicks to her. I have spoken to them multiple times, and they're now civil to her face. The issue is my daughter's having her engagement dinner, and I am the only one that was invited. When I asked, she told me that it was only for family, and my wife isn't family. I told her that my wife isn't going anywhere, and if she is not invited, I am not going. This started an argument, and she is pissed. My other kids are telling me that they feel the same, and she ain't family. I brought up if I cannot invite their significant other to things because apparently marriage doesn't make them family, and they told me that was different. I think he means, can I stop inviting your significant others? I'm holding strong on this, but they all think I'm a dick. Edit. This is a timeline. The divorce took about 1.5 years to be finalized. Then Pearl passed about 1.5 years after, 3 years after I brought up divorce. I was dating my now wife when Pearl passed. I married her around 2.5 years after my wife's passing, and my daughter got engaged about 1.5 years since we have been married. So 7 years after divorce, and I moved out, 4 years since Pearl's death, if that brings some clarity.
Yeah.
So again, am I the asshole for telling my kids that my wife isn't going anywhere, and if she isn't welcome, I am not coming?
No, I don't think so. I think all your kids need therapy. I I don't know if they just don't know the extent of what happened in, the marriage with their mom. I'm not saying that they need to know like all the dirty details and everything, but there's something happened for them to be holding all this resentment. Like before her death, something had to have happened. Was she telling them that, like, I don't know. We don't know that information, so I guess it doesn't matter. But
valid though.
Yeah, but the point is, I would do the same thing because, like, you've tried your best to navigate this as well as you can. It's not like, even with the timeline, like, it's all within a decent amount enough time. Like, they really have no reason to be this angry at you guys. So while I know that I typically do say if you don't want somebody at your wedding, then don't invite them, I think it's incredibly rude to invite your dad and then just like exclude his spouse. I mean, that's really rude. I think I would feel that way if it was any other guest too. I think I said that before, but I don't think you're the asshole. This would probably make me want to put my foot down as well and just be like, we need to move on and find a way for us to all get along, or I'm going to go very low to no contact because this is getting out of hand. I
mean, that's fair. That's definitely fair. And we do usually side with, and I think we've always said that it's your day, right? So you invite whoever you want. This isn't even the wedding, I don't think. This was the...
And I think, you are well within your right to do that, but that doesn't like give you freedom from the consequences of not inviting the spouse. So you can go through, you can stick to your guns and not invite your dad's wife, but like there's going to be consequences from that. And just because it's your wedding event or whatever, that doesn't negate you from that.
So let's talk about that real quick. Okay. Because I didn't think about this until just now when we were talking through it. So this is an invitation to the engagement dinner, not the wedding. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I would feel kind of the same way because with like the wedding festivities with the parents involved, it's the parents like presenting their children to be married to one another, like, bringing this union together. So
the wedding?
Yeah. Okay. Well, all the events leading up to it, it is about the couple, but then when you invite their parents and stuff, like there's even times where you have on the invitation where it's like these parents and these parents welcome you to, the union of their children or blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like bringing the family together. So that's why I think it's kind of shitty for you to use this as an opportunity to show the divide in your family. That's fair. Like maybe your dad just he doesn't want to have to be there by himself and be like, here's my daughter. Like he wants to be like, oh, we're here together. And I don't know.
No, I mean, I just think it's fair. I'm just wondering if there's an intimacy or like an intimate setting that's trying to be set here, because it's not, they don't say all of the wedding events. They don't say the wedding. They say the engagement dinner.
Yeah.
So that seems to be, especially if it's a very small group, I wonder if it's just very intimate and they just don't want her there. This doesn't actually say that she's excluded from the wedding or any of the events there. Does that change it for you or no?
No, because I think you're just laying the foundation for all that tension to build.
That's fair.
I don't think that this is the right move.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, as far like for the daughter, I don't think it's the right move for her to start out excluding the wife, because I don't see her excluding her for everything leading up and then at the wedding being like, fine, you can come.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's the grand finale. Of course she can't come. What do you no. Yeah. So I wouldn't even want to entertain this, honestly. It would hurt my feelings as a parent, and it would also frustrate me because you guys have got to stop. Your parents divorced and then your mom went down a bad path and she died. Like, you can't blame that on your dad forever.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, like, you guys need to go to therapy and talk this shit out and figure out what the hell is causing them to hate her so much.
And you need to, I think I know but we'll get to that because some of the comments kind of talk about that. But yeah, I think the kids definitely need to get over it. They definitely need to accept her.
Yeah.
As not your mom. No one's saying that this is your mom.
No, exactly.
Like,
yeah, I'm not saying get over it, like get over your mom's death or she's your new mom, but
yep, this is your dad's wife.
Yeah.
And I think she needs to be accepted into the family as such and not like as your mom.
Yeah.
But I think also any kind of like ultimatums, and that does come up later as well. But that's something that I thought of as well, was that any kind of ultimatums that come from either side, I think are just going to complicate things. They're just going to create higher walls, and it's going to be harder to move past this.
Yeah, the only way for you guys to move past this is for you to do it together.
Yeah, you have to talk about this.
Everybody has to do it together. Yeah. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. It's
like
one side. I know, but I'm saying one of you can't give in because it's just gonna keep building on that resentment. So yeah, for real, you guys all need to go to therapy together and figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, maybe.
And how you can address it. I don't know, but continuing to try and push your wife out isn't the answer, and like trying to force her in isn't the answer either. So I don't know.
Yeah, there needs to be. They need to come to an understanding on how we can move forward past this. It has to be. There has to be something.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I would feel differently if they were like, "Oh, she was, came in and was like, I'm your new mommy," and trying to throw her weight around, like do something. But they didn't mention that, so it doesn't seem.
It's coming from that side, though. That's the problem.
I guess, but
they very well could have been like that. The kids could have
obviously,
seen that.
Then if that is the case, then
but we just don't know.
Exactly. But going off of the information that we have, I don't think that you're the asshole.
That's fair. That's your final verdict? Okay. That would definitely be mine as well. I don't think, like the question that I asked, it being the wedding versus the engagement dinner, I think you excluding her from one, you have to exclude her from the other. You know what I mean? That's not going to fix anything. Yeah. I do agree that you guys have to, instead of any kind of ultimatum or anything, like what he says, right? Am I the asshole for telling my kids that my wife isn't going anywhere and if she isn't welcome, I am not coming? I think what you're trying to say is right. Yeah. But any kind of ultimatums coming from either side, I think are just going to put up walls higher and higher. You guys, like you said, either therapy or you need to talk through like what the root cause is. What the root cause is here. That's what my ultimatum would probably be, actually, is like we all need to go and sit down with somebody and talk about this. Otherwise, like I'm gonna be done. Yeah, maybe. Because we can't keep doing this push and pull. We need to sit down and come to a resolution. Yeah. There's something that everybody is comfortable with. I would be interested in knowing why they feel this way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like why the kids feel so strongly about this. And like they're adults too. So like. That's what I was saying is like what happened in the time. I mean, obviously there was some tumultuous shit that happened in your marriage, but like what happened between the mom and the kids that they kind of seem to hate you too a little bit, but like they really fucking hate your wife. So yeah, I don't know. Well, to go back off that point before we do verdicts, one thing that he said, the marriage wasn't a good one and I stayed for the kids basically, which I regret. So, I mean, it already seems like it wasn't a strong household to begin with. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So and then they had to go through all of the other stuff, yeah. But so your final verdict is not the asshole. Yes. That's mine as well. Overall, Reddit verdict was also not the asshole. The first comment says, and I actually got a response from OP on the first one. Oh. So this one is not the asshole. However, is this a hill you want to die on? You can't replace your relationship with your children. Response directly from OP. To be honest, yes, this is a hill I think I will die on. They are being nasty towards someone that has done nothing wrong. I cannot accept that. My wife is family to me. I would never be a huge dick to their spouse because I am mad they moved on. Just think if I called my daughter's fiance all type of names and refused to allow him in my home or be around me for no reason. Yeah. He's a fair point. I mean, yeah, I agree. I know we're only seeing one side of it, but I mean, if that truly being so dismissive. If it is like that, then yeah, that's a hill I'd die on too. Yeah. Next one was, feels like the kids probably associate your new relationship with their mom's death. It's easier to say to yourself as a grieving child of any age, mom was drunk because she was heartbroken. then mom made a bad choice all on her own that led to her passing.
Yeah.
The whole thing is unfortunate, but I don't think you can live your life apologizing for what you haven't done, and your wife certainly can't. I think if I were your wife, I would encourage you to go without me, but I can certainly see why you would stand your ground, which makes sense. I mean, that perspective definitely makes sense. Like you would from the wife's perspective, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I was the wife, I would probably be like,
I
understand why you're mad, but like, that's your daughter. Just go.
Just go.
But like, as the dad, I completely understand why you're like, no, fuck this shit. Because
that's going to be the only thing on your mind while you're at these events.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really shitty spot to be in.
Last one was these situations are never easy to give a clear answer to. There's always a lot of bubbling below the surface, and we can't know what that is for you or your daughter. My question to you would be, do you want to be part of your daughter's life or not? If the answer is yes, and the question would be, how important is it to me? The answer is that while it's important, my relationship with my wife is equally or more important, and if I have to choose, I will pick my wife. You are not the asshole to pick your wife. Your child is an adult. If you want to eventually have a harmonious relationship with your daughter that includes your wife, then you need to find a way to keep the doors of communication open, and making it an ultimatum will close that door. For the most part, I thought that comment it made sense. Just trying to find that balance, you know, because I know it's easy to say from like an external perspective, like, oh, you know, if you don't do this, then I'm fucking done. But like, these are your kids. And if you if you want some kind of relationship with them, you know, because that could be the major stepping stone to just nuking the relationship altogether, you know, but I agree. But they do have to meet you halfway.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So ultimately, y'all got to go to therapy.
Yeah. Talk this shit out.
For real. All
right, time for Maybe It's Not That Bad. This one is about something that most people hate, but you actually don't mind or you think wouldn't be that bad. And we're back to our back to school theme. So first up, we got homework. Back to homework. What do you think?
I think in moderation. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think it's fair for kids to have to like be at school all day and then come home and have to be doing homework from the time
That's
there.
Exactly what I wrote down.
Exactly. Yeah. But I do think that having some homework, like, you know, a task that needs to be done, a deadline that needs to be met, you know, like those things that kind of prepare you for the real world shit, like a job. I do think that those are good practices to continue. It's just, I remember like when I was in school and there was this argument about the amount of homework and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's why we had like the A days and B days. Okay. So that every class that we had was 90 minutes. So that the teacher, if they wanted, they could do like half of that time teaching. And then the other half of the time we would have to work on stuff in class. Okay. And then whatever you don't finish in class, that's your homework.
Okay.
But so like, that's why, you know, like I've brought that stuff up with Malachi before, asking about his schedule and how to kind of balance things. But yeah, so I don't think that homework is bad, but I think that when it comes down to it, like it's almost like the teachers kind of need to get together and figure out how to make sure that it's not an overabundance, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's, I don't know. I mean, I feel like where our kids go to school, it's a pretty good spread, but I know in some places it definitely seems like it's too much.
I kind of like that better, the A and B days, more than like what they have now is it's the same schedule every day, but then they have homeroom.
Oh, I love A days and B days.
Yeah, because like in right now, like what the kids have, where we're currently at, is they have the homeroom at the end of the day. And like I like that because then they can work on stuff, right? And then if they you know
have to go
have
ask
proper time management,
yeah,
then they can get it done in that homeroom block time. And then when they come home, they don't have anything to do.
Exactly.
I kind of like the A and B days better though, because then you actually have time in that class with that teacher, to actually ask questions and stuff like that. And then you actually have more time to do your homework, than just that hour block or whatever it is at homeroom. So I kind of like that a little better.
Yeah,
but I think it's important to have homework though, because then it teaches you know, responsibility and you know, accountability and all that good stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah,
in moderation.
Yeah. Next up, we got strict teachers.
Again, that's... You know what? It's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
I will say, as long as they're not all super strict, but I do think, and I can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I do think that it's good to have at least one, just like that one teacher who's like really strict and has like really stern rules, and everybody's just kind of like, God damn, this teacher, you know, but y'all have to, because like my 10th grade English teacher, that was her.
Okay.
But because she was a 10th grade English teacher, everybody had to have her. And like, to this day, I'm sure if you were to say, oh my God, when I had this class with Mrs. So-and-so, anybody would be like, oh my God, dude. We all have a fucking story. We all do, because she was so strict. And that was the first time I ever wrote a term paper. And we literally spent like the whole semester working on it.
Jeez.
And like it was so fucking strict. It was insane. And so at the time, I fucking couldn't stand her.
Yeah.
But I will say, some of the shit that she taught us, I still like apply, like some of those strict things, you know? Or like I got yelled at so bad one time and now I don't do that anymore. Like, you know, like it's things like that. If you can get a good like lesson out of it, I don't mind it.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not all of them.
Yes.
Just like one or two.
Oh, if all of my teachers would have been like that, I would have dropped out.
That's a lot of lessons. That's a lot of lessons.
Yes. But no, just like she was that one teacher where I'd be like, just spike my blood pressure a little bit. But I will say, once we got to the end of the year, once you finished your term paper, she was fucking cool. She was perfectly fine. We would come into class and we'd be like, what do you need? What were you doing today? And she'd be like, is your term paper done? And we'd be like, yeah. And she'd be like, you can go do whatever the fuck you want. And she was fine.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like
just getting to that point.
Exactly. It was like you just had to put up with her shit in order to get to the end, and then you're like, wow, okay, like you're actually not that bad.
You're actually a human being.
Yeah, it's like you were just trying to teach me something. I get it.
Funny.
I get it now.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
It's definitely important to build that discipline and like accountability inside the school as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
Yes. I think that we probably need a little bit more of that, especially nowadays. But
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody needs it.
Next up, we got online college classes. What do you think?
I mean, I can't shit on it too much. That's how I got my second bachelor's.
That's true.
I mean, that's how I got my first bachelor's too. But Rave. Wait, no, not maybe.
Maybe it's not that bad.
I know what I'm talking about.
That's funny. It's definitely much more convenient than in person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think, as long as you're able to make it work for you, I will recommend it to everybody. Like, scream it from the fucking rooftops.
I will say, though, the one thing that I don't like about them is two things. One, with any kind of vets that are listeners, to get the full amount of like your post 9/11 or whatever, you have to go to a portion of those classes in person. That's one thing that's kind of annoying, especially if you're not a hands-on learner and like you can do just fine on online classes. You know what I mean? That shouldn't change that amount. But then the other thing is that if you are a hands-on learner, some people need that hands-on just portion. You know what I mean? Especially if you're working on something that you can't get digitally.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you need to be hands-on in class.
Yeah. It's absolutely not for everybody, but I mean, I did perfectly fine with it. Yeah. So I truly, if it wasn't for online school, like I wouldn't have gone back. Yeah, that's true. After Barton, I did not have time to go to class all the time. Exactly. And truthfully, if it wasn't for like the village that I had, especially while you were deployed, I wouldn't have even been able to go to school at Barton because I wouldn't have had anybody to watch Malachi. So yeah, that was definitely like one of the harder times for me with going to school and trying to figure out my schedule. that was not obviously an issue at all when I was doing online classes.
That's fair.
It was so much easier to finish my degrees and like everything, just to get everything done. I could make my own schedule. It was, definitely
not that bad.
No,
because some people need that, and sometimes that's the only option you have. So you have to do online classes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm here for it.
Finally, we got school uniforms.
It's so crazy that you just brought this up because for some reason I randomly thought about school uniforms the other day. That's so fucking weird.
We've never had to deal with that.
I know, but I was just thinking about like school shopping, and for some, like literally I was walking the dogs and I was like, oh my God, we got to go school shopping and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how easy would it be if our kids just had like school uniforms and then all we had to do was go and buy like 7 pairs of the same like shirt and same pants, and we don't really have to think too much about it. We can just go get them. How easy. But then
so maybe it's not that bad?
Well, then on the other hand, it takes away from like the individuality of it all and being able to express yourself.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I'm 50-50 about it because like I never went anywhere where I had to wear a school uniform, so maybe that's why it's easier for me to be like, it's not that bad. But one thing that I have heard is that like especially with bullying, I guess, if you like you don't have like the designer clothes, or it's not like with the newest fashion or whatever, things like that. It kind of prevents
so like an
that.
equal playing field.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But then at the same time, I do understand like where the kids, they just want to express themselves. So we should let them. So personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I also haven't lived it. So
can also almost guarantee that bullying is still a thing.
Yeah, kids are always going to find something to bully each other about.
You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if that's like something that fixes it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
know. It just, I feel like, standing at like the front of, one of those rooms and giving instruction or whatever, it's just going to look like a bunch of robots.
That's what I was going to say too, is that it would almost feel hard to like start seeing them as, like individuals. Yeah.
You're basically a number at that point.
Yeah. And then even when you're like trying to go pick up your kids, you're like, oh, is that my kid? No, that's the other blue shirt. Yeah. No, not that, the different blue shirt. The blue shirt behind you. Yes, that's my kid. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
I think it is that bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't, truthfully, outside of like the ease of the shopping and everything.
Yeah.
I don't prefer it. Yeah, I think just let the kids express themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be an individual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's that bad.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, time for the feel good for the week, because it's important to know that there's still good shit happening in the world. So this story is titled, Paralyzed Man Can Feed Himself and Pet His Dog Again Thanks to Double Neural Bypass Surgery.
What?
Yeah. A man who was paralyzed from the chest down is now regaining hand and arm control thanks to a double neural bypass surgery by using a computer to connect his brain with the nerves in his hand and arms. Hardly doomed to becoming a wheeled internet node for the rest of his life, the man has continued to regain feeling and function that persists even when the computer is turned off. The result speaks volumes about the potential for this technology to improve the lives of those suffering from paralysis in the U.S. and abroad. Such hope and progress, unfortunately, begins with tragedy and loss in a very familiar way. Keith Thomas from Massapequa, I think it is, was just hanging out next to the pool during the summer of 2020 when he decided to dive in aggressively as usual. The next thing he knew, he was in a helicopter being transported to the hospital. Just 3 months after breaking his neck at the bottom of the swimming pool, Thomas was contacted by the Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research asking if he were interested in enrolling in a 3-year medical trial for what they call double neural bypass surgery, with the paralyzed nervous system between the brain and the arms being that which is bypassed. It uses electrodes implanted into Thomas's brain to detect when he wants to move his arms.
Wow.
The signals are then routed to his arms and hands to move them. The double part refers to sensors embedded in his fingers, which detect the presence and form of objects in his hands. performing another transfer of information to the brain via the electrodes. Not only does it allow Thomas to move his arms and hands, feel the fur of his dog or the touch of his sister's hands, but detect whether he's holding a ball, a coffee cup, or an egg, and adjust pressure and control accordingly.
Wow.
Training with the system for 35 weeks, the strength in his atrophied arms has increased 86% in his right arm and 62% in his left, while also experiencing an increase in his range of motion. Having previously not been able to lift his hand above his neck, he can now scratch his nose and wipe his mouth.
Wow.
The progress was recently presented in a paper published in Nature. For me, this is an incredible moment, said Professor Chad Boughton, leader of the team at Feinstein that developed the technology. For years, we have been wanting to really tackle the restoration of movement and the sense of touch and bring those together, and we've always wanted to create lasting effects, Boughton said in a video release. I think we're going to continue to see progress, and I think it'll be applicable to the millions of folks around the world who really need this technology. An interesting thing about the technology Ensemble's restoring Thomas' capabilities of touch and movement is that it's unclear just how much more he'll be able to recover. Where will he be after another 35 weeks?
Wow.
That's wild.
Insane. Oh my God.
That's insane.
Oh my God. That blows my mind. You go from like, obviously, like this to paralyzed to now you're like getting your feeling back. Yes. I'm so excited for it.
And it's a 3-year trial, so I don't know if that means he's going to be in the trial for 3 years or if just the trial with multiple participants lasts 3 years. I don't know how that works. But I mean, another 35 weeks, if he does go the whole 3 years, who knows?
I mean, that is
86% in his right arm and 62% in his left.
That's
another 30, and that's only 35 weeks.
Wow.
He could get full, theoretically, could get full range of motion.
How exciting.
And also what blew me away, I mean, obviously the whole thing is impressive, but like the pressure thing blows my mind. Because like those signals need to go back and forth.
Yeah,
it's
well,
not
I was
just
gonna
one way.
say fucking science is insane. Because like, I mean, the brain is already just so like delicate as is. Mm-hmm. And then now you're trying to do this and then you made it work. Oh my God.
That's wild.
If only Derek Shepherd could.
Yeah. Too bad he died.
Poor guy.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
before we wrap up,
this doctor, though.
We want everybody to know. We want to hear from you. Whether you agree, disagree, have some topic requests, or maybe have your own stories. We want to hear about it. So feel free to drop a comment, send us a direct message, or email us. All of our links and information is available at our website, which is therantingpodcast.com. There you'll find our links to all of our platforms to include Reddit, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So hit us up. Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
I don't think so. This is fun.
Yeah. Do you like the, I think last week when we did the Rant Files, we did, what was it? Would you rather?
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? Would you rather
I think it's fun doing both.
Or is it a good
I like
split?
to flip. Yeah, flip-flop.
I actually built an entire segment for Would You Rather.
Oh.
But then I was like, I don't really, because of the back to school thing.
Okay.
So I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't in love with it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just see what the stories are. Let me just look at, Feel Good. What is it? Feel Good Network?
Yeah.
And that was the first story.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what?
That was a pretty good story. So I think you made a good pick.
All right. That's it for us. If you like the show, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see everyone next week.
Yay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.